Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at how to analyze a graph using a Vernier LabQuest. To do this, first you're going to need to take some data. I collected this data using a LabQuest and a motion detector, and I just had a cart move back and forth in front of the motion detector, which created this nice graph of position versus time for me. What we're going to be looking at is how to find some specific things that we want to know about this graph. And the first one is slope. So in order to find the slope of any particular point on the graph, what I can do is I can go to the top of the LabQuest and press the Analyze button. Now you'll notice what I'm looking at and what you're looking at here on the screen is not actually from a LabQuest. This is from a program called Logger Pro, but it's the program that the LabQuest is based off of, so it's very similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top and look for the Analyze button. And you'll have this on the Vernier LabQuest as well. It'll be up near the top. And you press on the Analyze button, and you're going to look for something that says tangent. And when you click on this, on the LabQuest, it'll bring up a bar similar to this one that you see sliding along there. And wherever you click on the line, it will tell you the slope at that point. So if I want to know the slope right here, all I have to do is look in this box and hold my cursor over that, and it tells me that right there the slope is 0.111. Logger Pro will tell me the units. I'm not sure if the Vernier LabQuest will do that or not. You may have to know what the units are. Note that it's always the units of the y-axis over the units of the x-axis, so in this case meters per second. But I can find the slope anywhere on this, even where it's curving. I can find the slope at that point just by holding my cursor over it. So again, to find the slope, you go to the Analyze menu and select Tangent. I'm going to unselect this so that we can look at our next part. For the next part, what we're going to find is the area underneath the graph. Now this has particular meaning for certain graphs, and it's something we occasionally have to do. So in order to find the area underneath the graph, what you first have to do is select the area that you are interested in. So if I want to find, say, the area under the graph from 1 second to 3 seconds, I'm going to select that area. I just click anywhere on 1 second and hold that down and drag it over to 3. Go back up to my Analyze menu, and I'm going to look for integral. And what this does is it tells you the area underneath that graph. So if I hit integral, notice that area becomes shaded, and it tells me the integral for that is 0.5999, and then notice the units, seconds times meters. So when it's slope, the units are y-axis divided by x-axis. For the area under the graph, it's actually x-axis times y-axis, and since multiplication is commutative, you could go the other way as well, whichever makes more physical sense. So that's how you would find the area under the graph. Now I'm going to make this go away, and we're going to look at something else now. What we're going to do is try and find the equation of this line right through here. And in order to do that, I'm going to go back to my Analyze menu. And notice I have two options, linear fit and curve fit. Linear fit is going to give me the equation for a straight line, which is what I'm interested in here. So I'll select this, and notice that it gives me, just for that area I've selected, the equation of that line. And it gives it to you in the form of x equals mt plus b, x being position, t being time. Notice that's the same as y equals mx plus b. And it tells me the value of m, the slope, and for b, the y-intercept on this. And from that we have our equation. Next we're going to look at how to find the equation for a curve. So I'm going to close out our linear fit, and I'm going to choose part of this equation that has a curve in it. So I'll select that part right there. Now I'm going to go back to Analyze, and I'm going to choose Curve Fit. This brings up this screen, which will allow me to choose what type of equation I think is going to work best. and we have a whole bunch of different functions to choose from. Now, the one that's most often going to pop up is a quadratic fit, so that's anything that forms a parabola. But there will be times where we have to use some of these other functions. We'll get to those as they pop up. But for now, let's select quadratic, and we're going to have it try this out. And so as you can see, it matches quite nicely on that. So we're going to hit OK. And now it shows that curve that we think matches that function on the graph and gives us the equation for it in the exact same way that it did for the linear equation. And using this, you can find the equation for any part of your graph.